Good afternoon, everyone. This is County Executive Pat Ryan. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying dry. At least out my window here, I see some summer rain and thunderstorms, but I know we need it all in our yards and our gardens, so we'll take it while we have it. Today should be a relatively straightforward and positive update, which we always like. We'll talk about the COVID situation, which looks very good. And then I have an exciting surprise and to share with everybody at the end, which we always like to have as we wrap up our second update of the week and hopefully continue going forward nicely and smoothly into the weekend. So where are we with COVID? In short, we're at really the best place we've been consistently now for a week since the beginning of the pandemic. When we look at current numbers and our projected numbers, we have had a total since the beginning of 1,926 cases and just shy of 50,000 tested. We're just under that number now. So we continue to see that total cumulative percent go down and down and down, which we like. We have had, unfortunately, 90 fatalities. Thankfully, no additional fatalities in the last 48 hours since our last update. And we have had now 1,727 residents who were COVID positive who are recovered now, thankfully. If you look at our projection graph that we always show first, you can see that we're back down to projections that are near flat in terms of the growth and the trend line, so that is good news. In terms of our hospitalizations and where we're at there, we currently have, same as 48 hours ago, just one Ulster County resident hospitalized with COVID-19. That is good, of course. And we've seen the number of active cases actually come down now, and we're now at 109 active cases. We had been hovering right around the 120s and into the 130s for a while, and we're now down to just over 100. So that is also positive news. The most important metric, as I always say, in terms of detecting our resurgence and seeing where we really are at this moment and in the near term, is the number of new cases per day compared to the number of tests that we're running in that day. So in the last 24 hours, we've had one of the best 24-hour periods in quite a while. Only 2 new positive cases out of 623 tested, so that's a 0.32% infection rate. Very good. And over the last 48 hours, so since our last update, we're right around the same. 5 new positives out of about 1,200 tested, so 0.4% over the 48-hour period. We are generally very, very happy anytime we're under 1%. So to see us consistently under 1% now for the last week or so is very encouraging. And to me, it means, at least I credit it to you all, to the residents of the county, to our business owners and leaders, and everyone taking the message to heart a few weeks ago where we did have a little spike and a scare and we were disheartened, and now we have kept our guard up. We have done all the things that we need to do, and we're seeing that in the numbers now consistently. So please, let's keep that going and each play our part to do that. In terms of hospital capacity, we are in great shape there. Again, 1 current hospital bed occupied by a COVID-19 patient, and very more than sufficient need for the near and medium term. And in terms of our rapid response plan and where we're at with any emergent clusters, we currently have no active clusters. So all the previous clusters that had emerged, we've been able to use our 5-step rapid response plan by identifying them, investigating them, isolating, communicating with everyone throughout, and of course maintaining that enforcement of the pause orders. So we still have, of course, the rapid response plan in place. If we need to react to any clusters that emerge, we are ready. We've shown our capability to do that. But right now, no active clusters, so that is also good news. As I said, lots of positive news today. So let's keep it that way. How can we keep it that way? We each, as you know, have our part to play by continuing to be vigilant, by continuing to keep in mind that our individual actions, our families' actions, not only affect us, but affect our whole community. And so please remember, as I always remind and ask, wear a mask, please. Maintain social distancing, please, and wash hands and use hand sanitizer. All of these things work. We know that, but it bears repeating. We, of course, at the national level and even the regional level, we see the alternative to this, and it is tragic. It's scary. It's heartbreaking to see other states and communities that did not take reopening seriously, that did not let the science lead the way, to see that play out now and get worse and worse across our country. Sadly, but practically is validation that what we've been doing here in New York has worked, and that we need to, unfortunately, continue to do it until we can get through this this moment that we find ourselves. I do want to briefly circle back on something that we talked about Tuesday, which is what's going on in Washington, D.C. this week and probably next week as it relates to federal relief for us here in Ulster County, for the Mid-Hudson region. I drew everyone's attention and want to, again, to the fact that big, major, consequential decisions are happening in Washington about the relief that we will get here as individuals through unemployment, as business owners through these PPP and other federal loans, and as a government in terms of direct relief to our county government, to our towns and villages and our city, all of which have, from the beginning of COVID, been on the front lines, been doing what was required in terms of setting up testing sites, setting up surge hospitals, hiring more nurses and staff, buying PPE in some cases directly from China ourselves. All of these things did come at a cost, and now we desperately need help and relief from the federal government. So earlier today, I joined 3 other county executives from across New York State, a bipartisan group, two Democrats and 2 Republicans, all echoing that same call, saying, please, U.S. Senate and in particular Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, please take action and include in this next round of support that direct aid for state and county and local government. It is just absolutely existential at this point, and the consequences would mean things like our frontline workers, whether those are firefighters or nurses or transit workers, all the folks that we thank at the end of our briefing, that they and their jobs and livelihoods could be at risk. That critical essential services that we need, not just to deal with COVID, but to deal with a spike in opioid overdoses, a rising need for mental health, growing need for housing and food due to the economic impacts of COVID, that those services could be in jeopardy. And that ultimately each of us could be affected in a worst case scenario if we had to increase what is an already very high tax burden, which I'm committed to doing everything we can to avoid. So I just want to again reiterate the importance of that and thank my colleagues who joined me this morning. The Dutchess County Executive, the Albany County Executive, and the Oneida County Executive, we all got on the line, and it was encouraging and important that we all, from different parts of the state and different sort of beliefs and ideologies, recognize this is just common sense. We have done what we needed and have been on the front line as local governments, and now we need that direct relief. One specific call to action, if you do want to be part of echoing that message, we'll put up the contact info for Senator McConnell and his office, and I imagine they're getting quite a lot of input, which is how it's supposed to work in our great democratic system. So please be a part of that if you feel so inclined. Every call and email does matter and does add up. Making a very hard pivot from talking about federal matters and relief and our financial situation, Now is the more fun part of our update, where I get to share a really exciting initiative and a good news thing and a service that we can provide to all the residents of our county at this incredible time of pressure and everybody being cooped up. One of the few things that we all enjoy are movies, especially during the summer as kids and families. And because, unfortunately, we don't have a drive-in movie theater in Ulster County, we decided, you know what, let's build one. That it would be a great way to be able to offer some relief and ability to just have some sense of normalcy in the midst of the crisis and the pandemic we find ourselves in. So I'm excited to announce that Ulster County will be starting next Friday, July 31st, and through the month of September, we'll be launching on Friday and Saturday nights Ulster County Movie Nights. It'll be a drive-in at the Tech City site, the same location where we had our Independence Day fireworks and celebration, so out at Enterprise Drive. It is free for anyone who wants to come, and I'll talk about the sponsors from our community, our business partners who all chipped in to make that happen in a moment. But it's free for all of our residents. The only thing we ask is that you just sign up and RSVP so that we know we have a count of how many people are coming so that we can manage the flow. We've actually set up a website to go do that. It is ucmovienights.com. ucmovienights.com, as you can see on the screen there. Some more details about how our movie nights will work. Movies will be shown pretty much every Friday and Saturday night starting July 31st, and they will go through September 26th. The lots will open at Tech City starting at 8:30, and showings will begin at 9. And again, it is completely free, but you have to pre-register. We will ask and we'll be enforcing that everyone needs to stay in their vehicles. That is how we can ensure that we do this safely and responsibly. And if we have problems with that, then we would need to relook doing this, which of course we don't want to do. And then the last thing, we are asking for if folks are willing to volunteer to help check folks in and direct traffic so that we can keep some order and keep everybody, again, safe as we do this. If you're looking for an opportunity to volunteer, and then, of course, you can stay and watch the movie too, you can click that same link, ulstercountymovienights.com, and you can sign up to volunteer as well. If for some reason we had bad weather, we would have to cancel for obvious reasons, but hopefully that won't happen. We have some pretty good movies. We were able to secure, thanks to our generous sponsors from businesses and nonprofits throughout the county, we were able to actually secure movie rights to some pretty good movies for the family to watch. So here's the list. This is also up on our website, but you can see the full list of all the great movies we have lined up. Whether you're a Star Wars fan, a Downton Abbey fan, a Lion King and Disney movies, lots of great things lined up for the family. And I know we'll be definitely participating in as many of these as we can, even though Theo is not really quite at the understanding the movies phase yet. Although he will be celebrating his 1-year birthday on the 27th, so we're gearing up for that. But anyway, this is the full list of movies. This is also available on our website. Most importantly, I really want to thank a big set of folks who made this happen. First off, our Ulster County Economic Development team and Lisa Berger and her team were really pivotal in pulling this together. Deputy County Executive John Milgram was critical from our team in Ulster County government, but really it was a set of generous sponsors from our community who, even in the midst of all that they're dealing with as business owners and not-for-profit organizations, chipped in either time and resources or financial support to pull this great and I think really innovative initiative together. Those sponsors are up on the screen, but it includes, of course, Radio Kingston, who helps us in so many ways, the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce, Ward Todd and his team, thank you, Ward. Ulster Savings Bank, thank you, Bill and team. Colonial Subaru, WMC Health and Health Alliance, thank you, Dr. Doyle and team. Timely Signs and the Biker family. Ryan and Ryan, which is my cousin, not my immediate family member, I guess, but my cousin Bobby Ryan. New Vance Health, Best Buy, Adams, Target, Stewart's, Erie Insurance. Thank you all. This is, again, just such a heartwarming and encouraging and positive example of our community stepping up to offer something like this just to help families get through the challenge that we're all in. We were talking before this about how lots of kids are going a little stir crazy right now. So hopefully this is an outlet for some of that. And again, all that information is available online at that website. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We will see you there from a social distance, of course. Finally, our Project Resilience effort continues. As always, we update you on that. We've delivered almost 278,000 meals delivered and provided by groceries since this project's inception. Thank you, everyone, for being part of that. And thank you to all the frontline workers who have gotten us to this point, who are going to continue to carry us forward. We appreciate what you do, and will continue to do so even when we finally get out of the tough situation we find ourselves in. So thank you for tuning in. Please continue to be safe, remain healthy, stay resilient, take care of each other, and I look forward to keeping you updated and hopefully sharing continued good news. Take care.